Hey, what's going on, guys? Dvzl from Team Stand and Draw here, bringing you guys a long overdue deck profile of my Ezel Scissors deck. So this is the counteract, well, the first made counteract to locking and or quote unquote CBD or Omega Glendios, and I just wanted to show my deck. So starter I use is Scarlet Lion Karia. Alright, her ability is she's a forerunner, and if she boosts an Ezel Vanguard or an Ezel in general, if the attack hits a Vanguard, you may look at the top two cards and superior call the top two of your choice or up to top two, and whatever you don't call, you put at the bottom of the deck. That's the starter I like to run. It's better than the other starter because, you know, he superior calls and then your field's minus, and it helps generate more field. So for triggers, I run 4 heal. 3 of the draw when it's superior called gives 2k. I don't really use the skill, but if it's called, it's a plus. 3 more draw to make 6 draw. 2 of this regular Silent Punisher crit, and 4 of the Flame of Victory crit. This card's ability is, if when I put it into soul, I can give any unit I choose 3k. So that's good for if I superior call it, I can open up a rear guard, since most of the cards that superior call, they need open rear guard. It's a difference between if there's a placing over a card and open rear guard. If my field is full, I can't superior call anything. So I'm going with 6 draw, 6 crit. I chose this lineup because Ezel generates enough crit, so the other crits are just to put on the rear guards to make my rear guards a little bit more, give it more pressure besides the other cards that are there. Alright, so for grade 1s, I play 1 Quintet Wall and 3 Perfect Guards. I play 1 Quintet Wall because I love the concept of Quintet Walls. Even though it takes up 1 Counterblast, that's 1 card that I could drop from hand. I don't have to discard a card from my hand, and counting on the fact that attacks get bigger and bigger, instead of nullifying it, I would love to see how much cards I can use in the deck. And 3 Perfect Guards, you know, Perfect Guards, self-explanatory, you know, all the big attacks that come out there, plus crits, getting crits, just don't use it against Daikais and you're set. Alright, so I play, this is a good card right here, Knife Throwing Malgant, or whatever his name is. The Soul Blast 2 when it's placed, and unflip 2 damage. Counterblast is not much of a problem in this deck, but it's when you use up a decent amount of Ezel Scissors' ability, you need more counterblast. So unflipping 2, that really helps build the deck up. Plus, generally I tend to save him for Platina. Sneak peek, by the way. So I tend to save him up for Platina when I want to finish a game. I played 2 Gareth. Gareth's good behind Vanguard, behind rear guard, hitting crossride numbers, hitting bigger numbers behind Vanguard. Self-explanatory, okay, vanilla. I play 3 Tora, Knight of Passion Tora. I don't really use his ability. He's a pretty good card. If I have Ezel Vanguard, he gets 3k. Sometimes when I don't have the right cards, I'll put him in the front row. He's still going to be hitting for 10 behind a Garrett. Put Garrett behind him, he's going to be hitting for 18. It's good numbers. Don't really use his ability, I just use him for booster. That's really what I use him for. And this is the serious grade 1 of the deck. Sacred Twin Beast White Lion. His ability is so crucial to this deck because it really helps off before set 16 comes out, E16, where we get the limit breaking forces. But this is an Ezel, a personalized Ezel damage enforcer. So his ability is when he's placed on rear guard, counterblast 1, soul charge, and damage enforce. If you have an Ezel Vanguard, by the way, if you have an Ezel Vanguard. So his ability really helps to bring out limit break, really helps me to bring out Ezel's limit break early, so I can keep doing the plus crit, and doing it on the turn that I ride Ezel is so much fun. So grade 2s, I run the new grade 2 that came out in set 14 for Ezel, Burning Scale Knight Elliewood, my bad. His ability is when an Ezel is placed on Vanguard, I can counterblast 1 and check the top card, and Superior Call it if I want to. His ability, I chose him over, what's her name? The hit card, not Valeria. It'll come to me. But I chose him over that card because to ride a card seems a lot more easier than to get the hit confirmed. I understand it's more pressure for your opponent doesn't want it to hit, but I think riding is a lot simpler and it saves less time. So next for the grade 2s, I play 4 Damage and Flipper, Mage of Calamity Trip. This is the main pressure card because my opponent doesn't want me unflipping damage, and if I unflip damage, I'm gonna save it all for Ezel's Limit Break. Alright, and the last grade 2 I play is the 4 12k attackers, Bagdemagus. Self-explanatory, 12k attackers, hitting those good numbers, hitting 11ks, and if you're fighting a 10k for some reason, you put them behind a Gareth, you're gonna be hitting for 20. There you go. Alright, so we'll start off with the main grade 3 of the deck, 4 Ezel Scissors. I'm pretty sure set 14's been out for a while. We're on set 15, going on the Fighters Collection set coming out in 2 months, so you should know his ability, but I'll say it anyway. Limit Break 4, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2. When unlock all your rear guards, and if the number of gold paladins you have is 5, then you get plus 10k and a crit until the end of the turn, and at the end of the turn, Soul Charge 1 and unflip it damage. So pretty much this is a Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 at the end of the day. The beginning, you do need a Counterblast 2, so you have to keep that in mind. If you have 1 Counterblast, 1 Soul, you're not really in a good spot. But he is the main grade 3. I enjoy using his ability and constantly doing this every single turn. Constantly hitting for a crit is pretty much just constant pressure. And Zero from Team Stand and Draw calls it a troll deck, which it is pretty trolly. I'll give him that. The next I play 2 Blonde Dvzl. Now it is a 10k Vanguard, but one thing you have to keep in mind, it is an Ezel. And on top of that, I enjoy the Blonde Ezel part of the deck. First card, well, one of the first Gold Paladin cards I ever had. So one of them is an original card, the other one's a new one. And for people who haven't been here since set 6, his ability is Limit Break 4, Counterblast 2, and search up to the top card for a Gold Paladin, place it on rear, and the Vanguard gets all of the attack power from that card. Not saying it steals it, but it gains attack equal to his attack. And his second ability, forgot about the other ability on Ezel, by the way. They both have the same ability where they get 1,000 for each rear guard. Full field, you're automatically 15. Call another Ezel, you're 25. That doesn't count the booster. And you already know the last grade 3, which I play 7 grade 3s, by the way, is Platinum Ezel. Platinum Ezel is a game finisher. Self-explanatory. His ability is Ultimate Break 5, Counterblast 3, and choose up to 5 your Gold Paladin rear guards, which you shouldn't have more unless they change the concept of the game. Choose up to 5 of your Gold Paladin rear guards, and each of them they all get 5k power. So he's a game finisher. You're definitely not going to want to ride into him early game because you're not going to have 5 damage unless you damage and force with White Lion, which that's probably not the best idea. You damage and force yourself to 5, then use the Ultimate Break. You are going to have 5 open and use Counterblast, and once you return them, you're going to have to hope to get more damage, get hit, and it's a good idea, but it's not really optional. So if you run into this card, you might want to either hope for another grade 3 or ride it. Generally, most of the time, it's in hand along with an Ezel scissors, so I don't have to decide about riding him or not. I usually save him for late game, as I said before, and you combo him with the damage inflipper, and he attempts to finish the game. So as compared to Ezel, he gives power to his friends, as compared to Ezel, where he powers himself up. So that's the deck. Overall, I enjoy the deck. It's a good counter. It's a good counter to Link Joker. I enjoy that. Compared to other decks like Kagero, if they destroy your field, you're gonna be at the minus. You're gonna be at a full-on minus. You always need 5 rear guards to activate Ezel Scissors' ability. So if it comes to a point where they retire your rear guards, you're gonna be forced to drop cards from your hand. So that might be a minus. You just have to be worried about your matchup. But at the end of the day, you just try to fill up your field with Karia and the other abilities. So hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Comment, rate, subscribe, and see you guys later.